this is what we're looking for. So there you have it. For thousands of fires. It's not the prettiest looking one in the world. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. On today's video, what I'm going to show you is something you can carry with you that's a source of tinder that you can have with you all the time, and you can use it multiple times. I mean, this will last me, probably a couple of years, that you can gather out in nature, and instead of each time you go back in there looking for it, it's just something you can carry with you. And what this is FatWood. Something that I'm actually sitting on is a really good location to find this. And one place you can find it, that a branch that I already cut off of here, I actually cut it off of this right here. And what we're looking for is this part right here. That right there is where all the resin from this tree is at. And if you smell it, it smells kind of like turpentine. It's very piney. And you can feel the difference here and here. It's a lot more dense, and this is softer. You can kind of make your fingernail mark here, and this, not a chance. So this is what we're looking for. So what we're gonna do is process a chunk of this, but we don't need the rest of this wood. We only need the fat wood. So I'm gonna show you how to get that out now. What I've got here is a fallen pine tree. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut about right here off with my saw, and then cut the rest of it off with my axe right here, because it's probably only about the first 6 inches of this where it actually connects into the main part of the tree. All right, after I cut this tree off, you can actually see it faintly right in here. It's the core of the actual branches where that pine pitch is. It's not super prevalent in this, but it will be down towards the bottom, and that's what we're hunting. So we're gonna toss this towards the fire. Now we're gonna take our axe and chop this off. We're gonna try to chop it off basically right along the edge of the tree, the main trunk of the tree. There we go. And you can see all that pine resin right here. And just to show you that I'm not nuts what I'm talking about, just kind of rough this up a little bit. I just got a lighter here. And maybe it's just me, but usually trees don't burn like this. And that'll just keep burning. So even if you are one of the ones that only like to use lighters and you don't like to use fire steels, this is still something that you can use that works great to start fires. It works pretty well even in high wind conditions. Or if you use matches, you put a few chunks of this in your in your kindling, works really, really good. But you can see that big, huge chunk of resin right there. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna harvest that from that branch we cut off. Right here, this big, huge chunk. So I don't need any of this stuff. Oh, most of it's rotten, that makes it real easy. So I'm gonna get my gloves on, get my axe back out, and we're just gonna do a little wood processing. When we're processing wood down like this, we don't want the axe to go higher than the top of the stick, because then I could possibly hit my hand. Don't want to hit my hand. I kind of like all 5 fingers on my left hand, and I'd keep them all. So we're just going to process this down. So I'm not going to make blows much higher than this. Now you can really start to see where we're really getting into the resinous part. Wood is a little bit more yellow, and it peels differently. Now, what I'm going to do is I don't need this whole stick. The part that's the richest and has the most resin in it is going to be the part closest to the tree, the main trunk of the tree. So it's going to be this bottom chunk. And usually I like to have a nice round one, but this broke, so we're just going to make do with what we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off with a saw right here so I could actually make 2 halves. This is a little bit too big, a little bit cumbersome, and if it's too big, you're never going to carry it. So let's just cut it off about right here. The other thing about this stuff that I was telling you how flammable it is, just to show you that there's no like tricks or anything here. Even the sawdust. Let me put it in a pile. Can you do that with your sawdust? That's the other way that you'll see this sold, is they'll actually have those little boxes of, I don't even remember what it's called. It's about the size of a box of chewing tobacco, and it has like this shredded up, what looks like sawdust, and what it is this stuff. So you can do this if you'd like. Me personally, I like to be able to shave chunks of it off. So now that we got it like this, we can make 2 of them if we want. I'm just going to use the larger chunk right here, and I'm going to drill a hole right here towards the top. That way I can use all of this down here to make fires with. And what I'm going to use to drill the hole is this right here, my Swiss Army knife. And if you get the ones that have an awl on them, just take your Swiss Army knife. Just going to drill a hole. I was going to put it a little bit closer to the top. And the piece of cord, the only reason I put the cord in there is just because it's a little bit easier to hang on to. Some people, they like to carry it in their pocket. And with something like this that you can carry all the time to make fire, it's a good thing you don't want to lose. So like you might want to like tie it onto like this part of your pack or whatever. And this will work even if it gets wet. So nice little hole. There we go. You can really smell the resin. Can you guys smell? Sorry guys, I don't have smell-o-vision. Okay, now for a piece of cord, I could use a piece of parachute cord, but I figured what I would use for this is a piece of rawhide. Thought that would make it look kind of cool. So I'm just going to take a piece of, I think this is actually elk rawhide. It's pretty strung out, so let's get a little bit longer, about right there. Cut it with the knife, maybe stab the knife in a little bit deeper. And for all you that just freaked out because you saw me stab my Swiss Army knife into the log without it going back on my knuckles, if you get the right ones, they have a locking blade. Okay, the next thing I need to do is, this is a little bit too hard. I just need to soften it up. The easiest way to do that, tastes like elk. Just a little bit of saliva from your mouth to soften it up, just enough so I can tie it. I don't need to make it like super wet. And then we're just gonna put it through the hole. We're gonna tie it in a knot up here. There we go. Just enough so we can find it when we're looking for it. Okay. All right, there's 2 different ways you can do this. You can either use the front of the knife and just peel off little shavings, which is a lot of the time what I do. Like this. Or you can use the back of the knife, which I probably should do more because it works better. And then just take your knife and kind of take them loose. So you're almost using it the same way you'd use a striker, grinding off chunks of material. And you just make a nice little pile of it, like that. And you need lots of the really fuzzy part if you're going to light it with a spark. This would light with a lighter. Now this will light with a spark. So now just make a nice little pile, like that. It's a little windy. I'm going to try to keep it out of the wind. The wind's not helping. Nope, just about had it. And there you have it. So you can carry something with you all the time in your backpack or in your pocket that's very small, and you could use this for thousands of fires. It's not the prettiest looking one in the world. I mean, I've got another one that I made, and I actually harvested this piece from a stump. I didn't get it from the inside of a tree, but they both work. And you can see, even in wind, I mean, it burned pretty well. And if you're out of the wind, that little chunk would have probably burnt for about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And the other thing is, if you take little, like, actual chunks, like a sliver, like the size of a toothpick or a little bit bigger, it'll burn for a while. And when you do that, it really works well. So guys, next time you're in the mountains and you see a fallen pine tree, consider going over to one of the branches and making yourself one of these. I don't really know exactly what to call it. There's probably some technical term for it, but it does make a really, really good source of tinder that you can always carry with you, and they last for years. I mean, see this one right here, how it's all weathered? Even stumps, some pine stumps, it'll be all weathered, and then right underneath will be all this wonderful pine resin that you can use to start fires. So guys, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps support the channel. If you have other ideas and comments about FatWood, please leave them in the comments down below. And I'll have videos linked here and here and down here. Click the subscribe button and thumbs up. Thanks guys. See ya.